knowledge sharing communities around products or uses of products. So Bloomfire is it's a new product, it's a new tool, and it's a very lightweight way to share knowledge with others within a group, topic, or organization.
That sounds great. How long have you guys been in business now?
We launched Bloomfire last March.
Oh, good.
At South by Southwest.
Almost a year. Congratulations.
Almost a year. Yeah, one more month will be a year, and it's been a blast.
Oh, that's good.
You guys
are gutsy in a bad economy. You're doing well. This is good.
Yeah, no kidding. We're crawling our way out.
I'm sorry, I interrupted Terrence.
Oh, that's okay. I was just asking Josh that when I met him, I guess it was a couple of years ago at the ASTD International Conference and Expo. Was that your first launch of the product at a conference?
It was, yeah. We launched in March at South by Southwest in 2010. We actually, in May, when I think we met first, I was actually just contemplating the idea. Really, it was paper sketches at that point. Just a twinkle in my eye.
But that's definitely a different demographic, South by Southwest and ASTD ICE. Which one is probably closer to your target?
Well, our target is probably closer to South by Southwest. We have originally launched Bloomfire in a space where I knew we could get traction with it. I knew there were corporations and organizations who needed a really easy way to share knowledge. They didn't know how to build their own website to do it. They didn't want to try to bend WordPress with BuddyPress and pull a Facebook thing into it. And frankly, I see a lot of people go to conferences, like ASTD conferences or like e-learning guild conferences or training, and they get really excited about the prospects of social learning and informal learning, and they go to all these sessions and they're writing all these notes and just get wild about the idea, and then they go home and they don't really have a good way to put that into use. They start scratching their head saying, well, now how do I do this again? And I like the idea, but I just don't know how to make it happen. So Bloomfire, I knew, could help those people just create the one-click solution. Just launch a Bloomfire. It takes about 60 seconds. Upload your logo, invite your people, and start the conversation. So we launched with that crowd, the corporate training and development crowd, because I knew we could get traction. I've done work in that area a number of years with my original startup, Maestro eLearning, which is a e-learning custom development shop. So it was a place I knew to get traction. But the hunch that I had was that Bloomfire had much longer legs than just that industry. And that was the reason we launched at South by, is because I wanted to test that assumption. And now, less than a year later, we have, I don't know an exact count, but it's over 2,000 Bloomfires that have been launched for all sorts of reasons. Only maybe 10% are really corporate training and development focused. The rest are everything from sharing health knowledge to how to play the harmonica, to betting tips, to social media expertise, small business, how to build a website, those sorts of broad and vast knowledge. Ultimately, it's the tool that allows you to easily share what you know with a group and invite those to do the same back around a topic. So it works for a lot of instances.
So in essence, it's almost like a content management system with social media built into it.
Yeah, it really, some people think of it that way, although if you really try to weigh Bloomfire against other content management systems out there, like for a WordPress, people are using WordPress as a content management system, it's pretty weak, meaning it has fewer features, it's more simple. So weak is probably the wrong word to use, but it's much simpler. So if you're looking for a content management system, Bloomfire may not be an awesome choice, but if you're looking for a way to, share content, extend the conversation, the simplest way possible, Bloomfire, I don't know of a better choice.
Simple is good.
Simple is good.
Simple is really good.
What's one? Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, that's part of the basis of Bloomfire is we have way too many outlets for our time, from websites to our work to our families to whatnot. Simple is the right tool. There are too many learning tools that are really high level, high fidelity, complex that work for certain instances. But what we built Bloomfire for is to allow people to share their knowledge faster than they could send an email with an attachment. And I think that's been the bar for content creation in Bloomfire is you need to be able to go to Bloomfire and within seconds be recording your webcam or recording your screen. And you can do that. So we wanted to remove those barriers so that it was absolutely simple. And we push features out of the platform every day. We have thousands of feature requests, which would be great, but if we did even a small percentage of them, we'll turn our very simple, focused product into something that's not desirable anymore, complex and overweight.
What would you say is the feature that you do currently have that most of the users has gained the most traction?
Well, there's probably a ranked list there. Screencasting seems to be one of the hottest. Because we have a lot of software development companies who are using Bloomfire, or marketing agencies, or tech-focused companies, they often want to show things on their screen. And there are other tools that allow them to do that that are out there, but very few that allow them to do that and then publish it within a private syndicated audience and give everyone the access to do that. So screencasting is pretty huge, especially for like software development shops or customer training on software. You can use Bloomfire to do customer training on software. And now all of the customers have a way to record exactly what's going on with their system or their problem and allow the company to see what's going on, and they can share and have a conversation, then it's archived. So screen recording would be number one. Number two is the question answer engine that allows, if you're searching for something, this is common if you're learning, if you're a learner, yes, we do train, which is more just in case sort of learning, but the way the world is shifting is to a more just-in-time model, meaning I need to know something right now to do my job, to complete this task, and what's the best way to find it? Well, any of these learning systems or tools are going to have some sort of limit, and we're trying to extend that limit with Bloomfire, but ultimately there is an end to the universe, and if you hit that end, we want to turn that error into an opportunity where you don't just find, oh, my content isn't there. It says, if you search in Bloomfire and you don't see what you're looking for, it says, not finding what you want, ask a question. You can ask a question. It's immediately syndicated out to anyone who's subscribed a question, anyone who's following you, and you'll have answers, multiple answers to your question in minutes. Some of those answers might be screencasts, some might be videos, some might be the PowerPoint presentation that you were looking for, whatnot. You can answer in multimedia. So that's been a pretty powerful value add within
that sounds
Bloomfire.
Actually something really useful. I wasn't familiar with Bloomfire, so to me right now this is new, exciting, and I'm definitely going to get into it after the show to learn more about it. And I can think of some community areas where this could really be beneficial, especially in the area of e-learning. Like you said, it's a good traction place. And it's a good place where people always want to know something or have a tool that they don't quite get and they need a little bit of help on it.
The crazy thing about that, Rick, is many people who have started using Bloomfire professionally have also launched their own personal Bloomfires for whatever it is, they're like motocross, or some people have family Bloomfires now that they've started just because they think, oh, well, this is the absolute best way for me to share my family video, this photo, these two documents that Cousin Eddie needs, and let's just create this place that we can keep sharing all this media with each other, and it's private, so it's different than Facebook where, your bishop, your grandmother, your peers, your best friends are all on there. Well, what do you say?
Right.
That's my friend group.
You just say hi.
Hi, I'm in Dallas.
That's about it.
I don't think I have a bishop following me yet.
Right. Whatever it is, whatever you have.
So, one of the challenges that I see where it's sort of the brick wall of good intentions is that companies that finally get the social learning and social media aspect of learning are starting to use systems like Bloomfire, even starting to venture out into some of the open source systems like YouTube, Facebook, and they recognize that the social aspect is important, but encouraging it and stimulating it and getting the organization to contribute, whether that organization is your internal, your employees, or the community at large, getting people to participate is a whole nother dynamic than just simply choosing the tool. So in your experiences, now I know in the pre-show you were talking that you had a few hundred clients so far that are using, corporate clients that are using Bloomfire. What are some of the benchmarking success stories that you have of, and you don't have to use names, I don't want you to disclose anybody who may not want to be disclosed, but what are some of those benchmarking success stories of people that have not just put a lot of content out there, but created a incredible social dynamic around the content?
Well, you're really hitting on something important that I'm very passionate about now, because you're absolutely right. And it's what most people actually think, is that if I throw this technology out there, people are just going to use it. That's absolutely false, and that's coming from a guy who owns a company that I would love to be able to say that that's true. It's not. And we have questions all the time. In fact, our number one question or objection from people is, what if people say something bad? Meaning not necessarily like they're going to curse someone out or say something defamatory about the company, but just not right or not correct. And those questions are coming from a place that they're assuming that if they launch this technology, it's just going to go wild with the wind. People are going to take their shirts off and start posting, and it's going to be crazy. We're not going to be able to hold it back. We're going to have another Facebook on our hands. It's not true. And so, in fact, the exact opposite is true. And we've labeled this, we call it school dance syndrome, where it's a community dynamic. If you go into a school dance and everyone's standing at the punch bowl, what are you going to do? You're going to go stand at the punch bowl. You're not going to go out on that dance floor and dance. So what we've tried to help our customers learn to be able to do is use some of those tried and true methods of community dynamics and building community. One of those things is building a nursery. And so not everyone comes out of the box understanding how to get this to happen, because it's very different. It's a different model than what we're used to in corporate training, which is more of a push model. The learning management system, you've been enrolled, is a push model. I'm going to ask you to take this course by this date and get this certain score. Well, this is more of a smorgasbord. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Let me lay this out in front of you. Eat whatever you want, whenever you want, but it's here for you. And that causes some uncomfort, and people don't quite get it. So one of the things we try to help people learn how to do is build a nursery first. Don't launch this to your corporation. In fact, that's a terrible use of Bloomfire. We didn't build it to be enterprise. We didn't build it to extend, through multiple business units. Launch it out to a small group. In fact, choose your sales force. And so where I'm going to answer your question is, some of our customers have even segmented their sales force. There's sales force A, B, and C, and they have a Bloomfire for each of those, because they recognize that each of those are a community of practice. Salesforce A really doesn't care what any of the reps from Salesforce B are doing and Salesforce C. And they realized that if there was somebody having discussion or conversation around the other sales forces, it would only be detrimental to this space. So you think of it kind of like a party. You know how parties kind of end up breaking out into different rooms and different conversations are happening for different reasons. That's exactly it. I mean, that's the idea of what's going on with Bloomfires within organizations, is they might have multiple little places that are happening. But if you were to open this up and put it in a big room, suddenly the party's not as cool anymore. So we really try to keep the architecture focused on keeping the party cool.